Silence pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and law. We're done with it all.
I'm just here.
Here. Here. Bringing the approval of the agenda. Word.
No, I'm sorry.
That's for. Motion by Jen, support by Greg to close the agenda for tonight. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Approval of the meeting minutes from May 6th.
I make motion to approve the minutes and from last meeting.
Second.
We have a motion by Bernie, second by Jen to approve meeting minutes from May 6th. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Moving on the approval of the bill, general bills and wages. In the motion to pay the bills and wages of $38,403.38.
I just want to do the general bills and wages for $38,403.38.
Motion by Lori, second by Bernie, to pay the bills, wages, $38,403.38. Roll call vote, please.
Trans.
Yeah.
Merchant. Yes. Evie. Yes. Larak.
Yes.
Revich.
Yes. Motion carried. Sewer bills, we have 0 this month. Moving on to correspondence. Nothing. As far as sewer monthly flow, we have nothing on that as well. City did not get a hold of us to give us a month. And now under new business, we have some blight complaints. Starting out with the Spies property on North Straits Highway. Basically, if you ever went on the riverfront, you can see they're starting a junkyard basically around the whole. It's bad entire business area. So, I'm sure we've all seen it, or you want to wait and everyone can take a look at it.
No.
I mean, I've seen it. I know. You don't need to go. Okay. All right. Do we want to do these all together, or do we want to do them separately? Okay. All right. So, all in favor of forwarding on the Spies blight complaint to the sheriff's department? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Next one. The Jewel Residence, 8507 North Straits Highway. Basically almost right across the street from my house. They are storing old campers, house trailers, tearing them apart, scrapping the metal for them, but 2 trailers they have there now, been there almost a year, they haven't touched them. Starting to be an eyesore, so are you familiar with that one, Greg? I haven't seen that one, no.
That's the one across on the beginning of Indian Trail there off 27. Absolutely, 100%.
Right across from Kevin West, yeah.
100%.
So, you've seen it, Boris, and
I've seen it.
I'm good with that, okay. All right, all in favor of forwarding this one to the sheriff's department?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so there's that one. Next one we have Then referred to a few times, the Christie Jones residence on Maxwell Road. We have hundreds and hundreds of boxes piled all over the yard, front, all around the house. I can see that one from, Windrow, you know.
That's like 30 years. More than once, I think.
I think it's probably,
Insurance department.
I think,
They have out to them, they just haven't maybe. So what was the next step, be a fine or something? Is that what it's supposed to be?
yeah, I'll talk to Kelsey Kennedy and then tell him it's been like the third or fourth time of it.
That's what, half hour.
Yeah,
Good mower.
you know by any chance, Tim? if
You don't wanna see the inside of the place.
What's the question?
If they don't abide by the blight law after they're spoken, I know they got 45 days, is it?
Right. They've got 45 days to respond one way or the other, and then the sheriff will turn it over to the prosecutor's office. And the prosecutor, they'll issue a citation to the property owner. And then the prosecutor is supposed to prosecute the blight complaint.
Yeah, yeah. As I said, I think it's about the third time for this one. Are you familiar with this one, Graham? You wanna check it out? or-
No, we don't need to.
Okay. Alright, so if we can motion for this one, if we forward it on to the sheriff's department, all in favor? Opposed? And this one again, the Meyer property, they're not answering anything, so I just told to start off from square one, and get the sheriff department involved, having blood up there, so. See what happens as far as that goes. So, I think we all know where this one's at, we don't need to. So, we're good. Motion to send this one off to the sheriff's department as well. If they're all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Very good. Tomorrow. Okay, we went on to old business. The buildings and grounds. We got any of that, looks like it's finally cleaned up from the storm, looks good. On to the road update, we had 2,000 ton of gravel in Lucas's bed. County started yesterday. Put gravel down, get ready for brine. So we're down to, after yesterday, they hauled 500 ton, we're down to 1,500 ton left. Which should be what we need for this year. Talking with Shane at the road committee. Question is, we are gonna be out of gravel and they're not gonna crush. I talked to Freddie today, they're not gonna touch gravel until next spring. So we got two options if we wanna put some Paulson in to have on hand. From having the pit. At $17.50 a ton. Or Freddie says that he has plenty there, an extra. That we could buy from him as at 1,500 a ton. So I kind of think it's a no-brainer to
Yeah, go three, yeah.
stay with Freddie and so until next spring we can revisit and see how much we want to cross sheet when he gets the pressure in there. You want to go on that? Yeah, we can just do a verbal, we get a motion and support for the just fitting something Freddie that we need as a needed basis.
So Pat, you're saying that you're $2 or something less a ton? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So make a motion to go with Freddie.
Yes, yeah, we got a motion by Bernie, second by Greg to stay with Fred if we need any extra gravel for the remainder of the year. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed? Next on the roads, like I said, they started grading yesterday. They're gonna be grading tomorrow. And they're gonna wait till Monday, so we will start grinding next Wednesday. They're gonna be working from Hershey Road this way, because they're gonna be coming out of whole grants and equipment.
Would they, if you talk to Shane, would they redo Indian Trail then or not? I mean, as far as grading, because at this point in time, what has happened with you in 3 or 4 weeks ago, it just needs to have brine put on it. It's very nice.
He's gonna check it and see if he needs to add any here or there gravel and get a good grade on it. And
It's very nice right now.
So, question I have for the board, talking with Shane from the road commission. The road commission has got part of the contract somehow for pulling the millings away from the Riggsville Road project. They're doing Riggsville Road all the way from Kate Hansen to the state is from Kate Hansen to Warren Castle. So our townships being where we are at are gonna benefit. Shane wants to haul some of that millings to Church Road, Dotsky Road, and cover up, put a little bit of a base down, cover up some of that sandy areas. So question being, they're not gonna get to that part, that road project doesn't start till after the 4th of July. So do we wanna look at putting down another, like we did on Indian Trail, some of the cheaper brine to get by for a month or so? And then let them put the millings on these two roads and then put the good stuff on after, or depending on what time of year it is, put the shot of the cheaper stuff. Get it to the middle.
We probably should, that's a month, over a month.
Over a month when we
Yeah.
start, yeah.
We probably should do that, cause it could get very, very dry. You need that motion?
Yeah,
I make a motion and go and put the cheap stuff for those two roads.
I'll second that. We have a motion by Bernie, second by Greg to put the cheaper priced brine on Church Road and Dotsky Road. Get by until we can put the millings on, so all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried.
Yeah, I think that Kingsford stuff worked pretty well. Let's get down.
Sometimes, yeah.
Next we have on the roads is, I had a thought just doing around and about how much the price difference was in last year compared to this year for the one which I know. So I had a meeting with the road commission to see about what it would cost us to do the rest of Polish line this year. We know that. After my meeting, that is off the table. It could be done, but now it can't be done because there's 2 culverts that need to be replaced, and one culvert has cattails at the end of it. So now that gets Eagle involved. So there's not enough time this year to have Eagle do their study and go through everything and give us it. So, but they did recommend that us as a board decide if we were going to follow through next year, finishing Polish Line Road, just a free commitment. Then they will around September start the process with Eagle, and they said that by April, May, they should have a permit for us to be able to finish Polish Line Road.
Because you got a little bit of wetlands and cattails there.
Yes.
DEQ crap.
Yes. We just, yeah. So we just need to make a motion if that's how this board feels that we're gonna go forward and finish finish Polish line next year.
Yeah, I think,
And then I'll let them know and they can put it on their calendar, proceed when it's time, and start dealing with legal and bidding and all that stuff, so. I think we had a motion by Lori, second by Greg. Have intent to finish Polish line next year. All in favor?
Right,
Aye, opposed? Sure carries. She did a preliminary for me, well, if the prices are similar to this year, to just the road portion is gonna be about 240. But she said as far as the culverts and what he was gonna require is nobody's who knows, so. And then one more road, Lapham Railroad, been getting some calls on that. Which that was just paid in 2021. And Bernie and I went and checked it out Sunday. That one kept wet. And when they went through with all those power lines, this high tensile, and all that heavy equipment, they were running up and down that road. The spring of the air, weight restrictions were on. And back in their spots, that road is opened up that wide. Which we talked about, I talked with Shane this morning on it, and Shane feels the same as us, that is a maintenance issue. We paid for the road, township did, but now that is a maintenance issue for the road commission to take care of. So Shane was talking to Matt, his boss today, they sent me an email, they're gonna go check it out. And they may come in, do that Duraseal on all those cracks on that road. And try and save it, keep it on the, but somewhat decent shape, so. So, yeah, this road issues. Okay, that's all I got, roads, fire board report.
yeah, they took that new truck that Goodrich gave them, they gave it to the schools. Lights and all that stuff on, it's saving a lot of money, I don't know if they're done out, the school's done this week, haven't heard anything. And they sent a bill into FEMA. To see if they get reimbursed for any of this damage, God knows when we'll know. They haven't heard a thing. And other than that, they had brush fire, 75 shut down because of a wreck, 8 to the city, 8 to Alberta. And a main line down at Kate Hansen. Another minor stuff, Chico and 27. Other than that, no fires and nothing like that with the bridge. Good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Report.
Ready for taxes from July 1st?
This is comments.
Have you been out big answer lately? Okay. We're missing like 2.5 foot of shoulder in spots. And I think it's worse than Laparelle right, that you're talking about. And I've been asking the board for the last 12 years to reduce the speed limit. We had another rollover a few months ago since I was here, and we need the speed limit reduced, which you can't do. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I already talked to the state police about it.
continue.
Okay. And it needs an upgrade. Really bad. They're doing Polish Line Road, they're doing Rigsville. Cape Hansen Road is right in the middle. They're hauling butt back and forth, and our road is being ignored.
Glacier Road is not process state.
Okay, well, when is Cape Hansen Road going to be fixed?
When I came to the county this fall, they gave me a list of their roads and their conditions and the order they put them in. We'll see.
Well, I already asked for that the last time, last year.
We have say at what roads get done and what doesn't, but 90% of what we go by is the list from the county road commission. In the fall, we meet with them, they go around Lake Leach Road. Worst, best.
So when can we have the speed limit reduced? Before somebody gets killed on that road?
That's state police does that.
I know, and I talked to them and they said we can do that. You just need to take it to the county road commission and do your paperwork.
I can have Matt here at the road commission next month if you'd like, because I've been through it with him. Everything that goes through on how to change that speed limit. And I can tell you right now, for one thing, there's not enough driveways on that for them to get over the speed limit. You gotta have like 60 driveways in a mile range stretch. I got all the forms right from Matt at the road commission.
Okay, I would like to see those because I don't believe
You
that.
go to the road commission, yeah.
I don't wanna go to the road commission, I want you to get to it.
It's on, go to the road commission. Yeah. Big floors of all.
All I'm saying is that everybody's doing everybody's roads around me. I have been begging the board for the last 12, 13 years, to do something about Cape Hansen Road. We've had so many accidents on that road, somebody's gonna get killed, and nobody gives a shit.
You don't have to tell me about the accidents, and I'm on every one of them on the, and all these roads, so. That road's not any special than the rest of them. So, yes, sir.
Yeah, I agree with it. I mentioned it. Talking to Steve Lisa and Boston, from the county sheriff's office, North Ridgefield, that's where I live, the last almost 40 years. Yeah, if you go technically by the last speed limit sign coming out of that curve, that whole stretch, you should be 35. That's the last speed limit sign, and I was told something to be 55. I requested, and I've been mentioned in here before, that they should go to that, that speed limit sign in sheriff's department. They seem to care more about protecting their sex offenders than they are doing their job. I don't need to say anything about that because you know what I'm talking about. They won't control North Richmond.
And another thing,
You get to that four-way stop, you can sit there and watch. Probably 80% of the cars don't.
Is it- do they have a speed limit sign there?
No.
Neither do we.
won't put one out.
I know, we have new signs that say Cape Hansen, Indian Trail, Polish Line Road on both ends of my road. But they don't have at the one end by Riggsville and at the other end by Polish Line. It's not marked, and people are flying through.
Yeah. I've been past doing 55, and I've had to pass me.
Well, that's okay, because I'm buying one of those great guard gutter things.
Stop. You all don't seem to care either.
I'm telling you right now, it's not a township issue that, yeah, you want a road sign or something like that, that's the road commission. We don't provide road signs, we don't provide speed limit signs. That's the road commission.
Oh, I got the wrong meeting.
Chase business is all like that.
Anybody else?
Yes. First one is, obviously SOT in the last several weeks here. But, 23 households on from Polish Line on Indian Trail to the South Extension, power plant. They would like to thank you. Thank you very much. Because my security cameras are going off on Friday and Saturday, anywhere from 140 to 170 to 207 times one day from the garden place. People, that's just on my end. Sue Regarding told me on the other end, it's just as bad from the garden place to the plant. So really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much for the well run. But we would not have survived. Second thing is the beaches. last year I was doing the beaches and maintenance of the buildings and stuff, mowing the grasses. I was required by Bernie Tram that I had the buoys out by Memorial Day. As of tonight, there's still no buoys out at the Mall Lake Beach, and the garbage cans are still inside. The benches are still against the hedgerows where I left them last fall to clean the place up. Polish Line Beach, the table that I put there last month and the garbage can that was full on Saturday and garbage all over the ground and the gravel that is all over in the parking lot. No railroad ties have been put back across that yet, and that was supposed to be done by Memorial Day. The grass is filled with people, or the gravel from the parking lot when Bernie plows that during the winter. Everything is filled with gravel. Weeds growing up, and the entrance into the water, it's got stumps and branches all over it. You need to get in contact with your personnel that's taking care of this stuff. There's 8 inches of grass underneath the picnic table that is still there in the same spot I put it there 5 weeks ago. The fence is popped out that needs to be maintained too. So if you could look into that, Mr. Tramp, because last year I was required to do that and it seems to not have been taken care of. ORV speed limit signs. I've been working in 3-4 years ago. I've been bringing this up to Rod LaHaye. It was in your position, Todd. And then we couldn't get nothing done. Oh, it's the county. Oh, it's a liability. Bullshit. I've been in Harbor Springs and Pellston working for the last 3 weeks. Every friggin' gravel road, sidetrack, 2-track in Emmett County is filled with no speed limit signs of ORV, 25 miles an hour, which is a legal speed limit of an ORV. Every road over there in Emmett County is filled with it. I have literally, you come there and sit there and have beer with me. We can watch bikes go by the house at 65, 70 miles an hour on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's never ending. They can go down there on Richardson Road and do donuts where the hard pack is now. They can't tear it up because it's so hard packed. But the speed limit, state law, is 25 miles an hour unless you have license plate and turning signals on that bike. Research this for years. I was told it's been a liability. I talked to a board member in Emmett County that said, bullcrap. It's a township. It's a township that can state what they can do in their township. That's why Emmett County is filled with all those signs telling the ORV people 25 miles an hour. Even the trails over there have 25 miles an hour over there. We need to do something. Carlson Road, Dotsky Road, anything that's got gravel going north and west, Indian Trail especially, because anybody that lives in Malt Lake brings up the side-by-side. They do. Every weekend, they go from the lake, hit Birchwood, it's Burt Road, they come on the gravel, they hit Indian Trail, and they go to the U of M. And I watched Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and like, holy shit, I couldn't even see what that was. We need to look into that on a 25 mile an hour thing, because Mr. MacArthur told me 3 or 4 years ago, 2 years ago, oh, we can't do that. Bullcrap. Emmett County can do it. Why can't our township do it? Because we need to stop this out of control. Somebody's going to die. In fact, I had 2 deer that were killed by the bikes on Indian Trail. Polish Line Road. Next thing. You were out there. We have a speed bump from Kate Hansen. I got to say this though, Todd, because that pavement was supposed to go back onto Indian Trail at the mouth 25, 30 feet. At this point in time tonight, nothing's being prepared there where they stop. We got a speed bump coming off Kate Hansen because they didn't grind that road and they just put gravel over top of it. And on
they're going back 35 feet.
Okay, I hope so. And then on Richardson Road, they need to come down with pavement there also, because when they stop, they spin their wheels because they can't pull their tag up and they tear the pavement apart. Well, we need to come down there.
It's all taken care of. I was just there today with Ruiz.
Okay. I see it wasn't correct, so I had to say that.
Yep,
I don't want to speak on it. Thank you.
what else?
Yeah, I would just like to know when Kate Hansen Road is going to be repaved and the speed limit reduced.
It's not gonna get repaid, I can tell you that right now.
Oh, ever?
Probably not my lifetime.
Really?
I can see it's hard to check.
Well, Piano Dolce, do not. This is a waste of time. Ed said this was a waste of time.
Yes.
Hickory.
50 years here. Had some thoughts, tied into the fall harvest. Showcase gifts and talents, those who are living in Inverness Township. Borrowing off, like the farmer's market, go down to the farmer's market, use this building and a parking lot, and people, well, how do you grow those peppers? How do you can those asparagus? Borrowing off the fair towns. The arts and crafts. Beautiful, wood, leather, clothing, making your own dress. Is to showcase the talent of those who live in Inverness Township, like take, show and tell. I've seen our parking lot and this building. And tying in young people too, with that, within families, they learn the arts and crafts of how to do different things. Honey. How do you get the honey from the bees? I don't know. Well, the young people here, hi, these guys, their friends, well, there you go. Someone borrowing from like the Girl Scout leader. Go to the supermarket, there's a table, 3 Girl Scouts there, right? And there's a parent or 2 standing behind, and they let the girls. Sir, would you like to buy some cookies? After you turn away, go there and have each one tell you what their favorite cookies are. And then you buy it, you get a box, another box, another box. Okay, this little working model. And then say add it up, or just figure it out. That'll be $16, sir. Give a $20 bill. Of course, girls will be watched by the adult. And they give you back $4, and they're looking at you like, is that right? Okay, that's a working model, but you vision this building, there are tables where somebody is working, might have MSU down here, extension doing soil samples. Bees, and we're good bees. Well, a little bit, let's parents do it. Okay. I with it, parents oversight, he's down here, he's got a table, bees. Only thing about how you do that without getting stung. Anyway. Sky's the limit. Inverness Township, show and tell. Showcase education. How do you do that? I don't know. Maybe you show me have that recipe. How do you think? Big jelly on it. Raspberries and strawberry. I don't know, simple thing. Sterilization of pots and jars and so on and so forth. Necessary step. There's a table over here, how to do that correctly. Anyway, get the conversation going, tie it into the fall harvest. And all the towns, big deal, Inverness Township. Hey, we have the best cooks in Inverness Township, in the Tri-County area. There's some kind of service over at the Polish Lion dinner there. Tie them in there. I like that recipe. How do you do that? Here's the recipe. Showcase, share. Showcase, share. Be exciting. Exciting to do. Anyway, just some thoughts, getting thoughts of you. Your ideas. Your ideas.
Is this something you're gonna have up?
Yeah, I'll be part of that. I'll be on the executive committee, be the principal party, yes. I'm just going around, yeah.
I mean, that's, yeah, 100% you, that's. Try it, start with it, see what happens, I guess, I know how somebody's trying to go over, but you never know until you try it.
Yeah,
Uh, But you would definitely, weekends or one. But you definitely have to get hold of the town hall guy here, make sure they're available.
I know, certain lot districts involved with that, but the key word is creating some excitement about it. Everybody's family has somebody that has a talent. They get young people buy into it, they are on the front line with your help. Then that is an enrichment for them, it's a buy-in for something. So, and plus you might learn something too. I started a garden 3 years ago and Mike and Bonnie Bancroft, and when you do all those cucumbers, they gave me a pickle recipe. My friend and I, Tim, made 30 jars of pickles. I was astounded that I could do that. And it's still halfway, but you gotta do it. That's just one example.
Alright. Marshall?
Yeah, I don't know if this is a question for Mr. Arthur or the board. We have a agitator in the village, and he has put up 2 beehives within 20 feet of the post office. And he's surrounded it with an electric fence and a solar light. Is there any restriction at all about being in a residential area with active beehives in a public, right next door to a public building, and an electric fence that any child in this village this summer could accidentally go over and look at the beehives, and they just put their hands on the wire and look, and they're gonna get jolted. And I'm very concerned about that portion. I don't know, I suppose he's pretty legal having beehives, but it's not farming.
Well,
You know,
no, I don't know, because Inverness Township is not zoned. It's property. And the county of Sheboygan owns. So that question should be directed to Mike Turst and the zoning department in Sheboygan.
that's where to go.
Yes, yeah. First floor, right, as you go through the door, yeah. Yes, go down and ask for Mike to sit down.
Oh, I know, Mike.
Yeah,
Really? So the township has nothing to do with this. Technically. Huh? Yeah.
yeah, the township does not have its own zone. Burke Township, who I represent, has its own zone. It's the only township in Sheboygan County that's retained its own zone. Beaugrand Township used to have its own zoning, but they gave it up.
I'm just concerned because an agitator doing it just in measure. Seriously, the sheriff's department's had so many runs on this guy last 3 or 4 years. Which point?
That's it, but. One right next to full thought.
Yeah.
East or west side?
Well, it's next door to the post office. His septic field is there. These things are right in front of his.
East towards you or
Yes.
the yellow house?
Yeah, you gotta go by there and take a look at what he's done. I'm just concerned about kids, kids, they're
Curious.
curious and they don't know anything about electric defense that their parents are.
Take that, that's enough of what's that.
Yeah, I don't know. Sure, I mean, I just can't get this through my head. And next door to public building where I know kids from down in Kirchhoff get mail for their parents, there's post office boxes for instance. But if they just see that, go, look,
What's that?
they go over there, not knowing, and there's a sign, But I'm just concerned about it.
He does have a sign warning of it.
Old stuff. Attenuates, no, I don't like it's fine. Yeah, he does, but he doesn't have it's not a sign, it's private property, that's all. No sign about it being electric nuts. He doesn't have one.
Doesn't have anything there.
Well, I don't know the law, that's why I just.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, like I said, the Sheboygan County does its own for Inverness County.
Okay.
So you know, it would fall under their lake stream protection or residential. I'm not sure what so many feet back from the lake is considered lake stream protection. And it's your general residential. And it seems to me there may be something in the Sheboygan County ordinance about fences like barbed wire fences and electric fences, you know, in residential areas. Off the top of my head, I don't think. Thanks. Okay, thanks.
What else?
The kid on the road, you're telling me that he's not having the authority, road commissioner, sheriff's department, what have you folks been telling signs up here? If you say no, you're full of shit.
Anybody else? All right. Sure.
Second.
By Rick, by Lori, all in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed?